The community of Delagrande is about over an hour and a half by very bumpy, very hilly, several incredibly steep hills. So really only all-terrain vehicles or jeeps can get through there. My name is Jenny Huntley, and I'm a registered midwife, and I've been volunteering with Midwives for Haiti. Many women have told me they've come from quite a far distance, an hour, even a couple hours of walking. Women seem to really be drawn to having someone just do a quick assessment of them and feel their belly and hear the baby's heartbeat and hear that everything is going well. Because of the Jeep, we're going to be able to run these mobile clinics to include places like Delagrande that we haven't been able to go to because of distance.
Hey, welcome to the Rotary Club of Tulsa, where Tulsa's finest business and community leaders come together each and every week to do great things here in Tulsa and around the world. We're starting a couple minutes early today because we have a packed program. Thank you for joining us. So yesterday was the first day of spring, which is yay! So as we take a minute to say hello to each other, maybe you might think about sharing what's your favorite thing about spring as you're visiting with each other, okay? Get sentimental. Okay, we've got a great program today, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Bob Sade is going to lead us in our invocation. Corey Nickerson's going to lead us in our song and pledge, and Ed Monette will introduce our guest. Bob.
Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we give thanks today for the opportunities bestowed upon us because we live in a free country. And yet we are reminded that so many fellow human beings, simply because of their place of birth, are not given those opportunities. Guide us as Rotarians to help them overcome the challenges they face. As we gather today as men and women dedicated to service above self, we ask a blessing on the leaders of our club as they continue to raise Rotary to new heights in the future. Open the hearts of all Rotarians so that we may each find our own path to help fulfill that future. Amen.
Okay, we're going to do America the Beautiful, and we're going to do it a cappella because Tom Wolfe is not here. But we're going to do something just a little different. A few weeks ago, around the world was celebrated the International Day of Women. And in an egalitarian setting, some of our patriotic songs are not so egalitarian. So ladies, when we get to the brotherhood part, I want to hear from you, sisterhood. Now, if we had a good word like humanhood that would bring us all together, we'd use it, but that's not a word. So you got it? Okay. Ready? Go. Bum. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with from sea to shining sea. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Rotary Club of Tulsa. As is our custom, I will introduce the host Rotarian, and if they would stand briefly with their guests so we may recognize you and then sit back down, we will hold our applause and welcome you all with a rousing round of applause at the end. Rotarian Tina Miller has with her Mary Ellen Moon. Mike Homan has brought his wife Ginger with Zia Communications. Roger Ramsire has John Odgers with Cox Communications, Evan Falak with BOK Center, and Kim Honea with Promise Hotels. David Downing has 4 folks with Acrobat Ant: Diane Davis, Donna Keffer, Brian Cooper, and David Vavra. Jim Dunn has with him Rose Washington with the Tulsa Economic Development Corp. Philip Viles has as his guest Byron Burke. Carl Vincent is here with Allison Vincent. Michael Willis has Cherie Cook. John Stava has as his guest Kurt Helen. And that's it. Let's welcome them all. Visiting Rotarians from way far away, the Sunrise Club of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Their incoming president and former Rotaract of Tulsa member, Brooke Estevez, who is a guest of Bob Wyworth, by the way. From the Rotaract Club of Tulsa, we have Katie McElhaney and Jonathan Slay. From the Owasso Rotary Club, Andy Coleman. Also from Owasso, Stephen Craven. And from Tulsa Sunrise, Philip Jackson. Thank you all for being here. Please come back.
Thank you, Bob, Corey, and Ed. Appreciate you. And welcome guests. You will find that at the Rotary Club of Tulsa, you can connect with and work alongside Tulsa's finest business and community leaders while serving your community. So we hope you'll have a great time today, and we'll consider joining us. And Brooke, welcome back. Good to see you. Glad to have you back. Okay, so now we're going to address the elephant in the room, because I know most of you at least are wondering. So last week I unveiled what I thought was beautifully, perfectly engineered beige wall. However, I've come to find out, because several of you have let me know, that not everyone has the same artistic picture in their mind that I do. So I've heard words like, it's not vivid enough, it's not inviting enough. I don't know, didn't see it, but thought there might be a little bit of pushback, so we had a plan B, and we want to unveil plan B now. ladies. So that's better, huh? Okay. I still like the beige, but Jeff, you'll notice BOK Center, front and center there. Just for you, buddy. Just for you. So yeah. So I just want to take a minute. So our strategic plan that we developed a couple years ago now really has challenged us to relook at ourselves and relook at kind of our brand. And so if you go to like a Rotary International convention, you'll notice Rotarians love pins. And they have these pins that symbolize their culture or their region. And so we thought, by golly, here at the Rotary Club of Tulsa, we need to have a symbol that symbolizes who we are. And what better symbol than to represent Tulsa than the Tulsa Driller? And so we have adopted that as our brand because that, when you think of Tulsa, you think Tulsa Driller. And it's world famous.
Yes,
Karen?
right. So Michelle Place and I were, as you know, in Alsace-Lorraine area, and the Freipartie City Amusement Park adopted the Golden Driller for their new ride, so it's international. So it's really, really cool. And so in addition, we're going to be rebranding ourselves. We'll have T-shirts, pins, and all sorts of things. And Tina's got some other ideas she's going to implement. But Becky, if you would step forward, please, and she'll come through the audience and show this off. But these are our new vanity plates for the car. So, now, if you happen to have a spot at the front of your car, the license tags are $15. It's 100% profit for us because an anonymous donor is covering the cost of them. But for if you want $15, gets the license plate, and then for another $20, Mike and I will go out there and put that on for you today. Okay? So Becky's going to go show that off while I have some major thank yous. So right up here in the front, Rotarian John Stava, please stand up. This is one of the things that happens. I call him, and I'm like, we've got to get this wall painted. And I didn't even get the words out of my mouth. He said, it's done. It's done. What color do you want?
I like beige.
So just like that, the wall was painted. I was so excited. And then Guru Stu and his group, so Rotarian Stuart McDaniel, stand up, please. His company did the logo designs. And that's what you'll be seeing, whether it's on T-shirts, pins, or whatever. We've got a multitude of different things that we can kind of play with, so it'll adapt to the medium. So, Stu, great job. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then Tulsa photographer John Shoemaker, if you would stand up, please. I want to thank you for your incredible work, and I found this online. I've tracked him down. I put him through a rough time trying to pick out of the photos. I'm sorry, I'm tough. But anyway, thank you. I think everybody liked it. And his daughter is here with us today. If you would stand. So Rotaractors, she was asking, what's Rotaract? So you guys go talk to her. I think she's interested. Gary Fisher, Gary, if you'd stand, he is our division director over admin services. And Gary says, I do this for other nonprofits. Well, I was kind of hesitant. You know, it's Tulsa County. He said, no, we can do this. You'll pay just like everybody else. So that's what we're doing. But Gary really jumped in. And then his staff, Belle McDaniel, Belle did the design on the vanity plates. Where's Becky? Yeah. So anyway, Belle did that. She's amazing. There's a relationship with Belle and Stu. There you go. And then Nicole Vance and Belle printed this. Nicole, stand up. And then they put all this up back here. So, you know. And again, we put them through a rough time trying to figure out which logo we were actually going to put over here on the left. So It was tough. And then Chris Tabor. Chris, are you out there today? Chris is with First United Methodist Church. And again, we put Chris through the hoops on this as well. So Chris, thank you for everything you did to help make this happen. If you want a license plate, I'll be out there selling these after the meeting. And again, got the screwdriver if anybody needs help. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mike.
And thank you, Karen. This is a dream of Karen's, so she's put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this, so appreciate your leadership, Karen. Okay, getting back to business, want to thank this week's meeting sponsors, whose sponsorships help defray the cost of the club: Terry Carell with the Tulsa Zoo and Kara Gay Neal with Chenoweth and Cohen. Thank you very much. And let's also thank our meeting volunteers who help make sure this meeting goes off fairly smoothly each week. Thank you, volunteers. Okay, we won an award. And and this is it. This is from the Oklahoma Ethics Consortium. They're a consortium of business leaders and educators who reinforce standards of ethical behavior in business and in the community. And during their annual awards banquet, they recognized our club for the second year in a row. And what they highlight is our positive ethical behavior by actively engaging with the community using our four-way test as a priority. They note that our four-way test is a nonpartisan and non-sectarian ethical guide for Rotarians to use for their personal and professional relationships. And I want to thank Catherine DeCamp, who I don't see. Catherine DeCamp went and accepted this award on our behalf a couple of weeks ago. So, hey, congratulations. Okay, Rotary Youth Exchange is looking for host families and an inbound counselor for our inbound student for next year. We're already starting on next year's activities. So if you or someone you know might be interested, get with Jerry Stamper, Tricia Kirkstra, or Alicia Herrera, please. And I think we are pretty well aware, our 25th annual IBA banquet is coming up on June 18th, and the IBA committee has already announced this year's MC, who will be Dave Hunziker, the voice of the Cowboys, who we'll be listening to tonight as the Cowboys play Western Kentucky. And so to tell you more about this year's banquet, which is our big fundraiser for the Rotary Club of Tulsa Foundation, is the Celebrities Subcommittee Co-Chair, Rob Walters. Rob?
Thank you, President Mike. Mike just said 25th year anniversary. This is an event you definitely don't want to miss. So we all have phones, right? And these phones have calendars and reminders. So listen up. The date is June 18th, which is Monday, at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tulsa, with a celebrity reception in the Sky Room and the general reception outside the ballroom. Make sure and put this in your phones and your reminders. We'd also like to thank our presenting sponsor, Tom Reinhardt, and if you have not bought a table yet, please do so at this time, right now. To officially announce our keynote speaker for this year's IBA Awards is a sports director of KJRH2 Works for You, Caden McFarland. Caden is originally from New Mexico, where he reported TV news in Albuquerque, TV sports in Abilene, and became the sports director at KRBC TV in West Texas before joining KJRH Sports. Upon Al Jerkin's retirement last year, he was named sports director. He was recently presented the Oklahoma Sportscaster of the Year Award by the National Sports Media Association. You can also hear him regularly on the Sports Animal. This is Caden's first Rotary Club of Tulsa meeting, so please, let's give him a warm welcome. Caden McFarland.
Luckily, you sing corporately, and that's not left to the people who have to come up here. You would not want to hear that. First of all, and I'll do this really quickly because I know it's tight, thank you to anybody and everybody who helps make the IBA Awards happen. People who buy the tables, people who put the thing together. As a sports fan, my entire life, having lived here in Tulsa for 10 years, cannot tell you how much I've enjoyed going to just about every single one of the last 10. Scott Brooks became my guy the night of the IBA Awards. I was in hundreds, literally, they make those guys talk way too much to the media. Hundreds of media sessions with Scott Brooks. Learned more about him the one night of the IBA Awards when he was the keynote speaker, and having been raised by a single mother and being 6'0", finding a way into the NBA. I love the IBA Awards, love the fact that these people who have accomplished so much and then have so much to say to each and every one of us in our walk of life are able to speak in a way that they just aren't, breaking down X's and O's. So I am here, thanks Rob, by the way. Usually I'm just introduced as Little Al Jerkins, so that was quite the introduction. It is my pleasure to announce that one of my colleagues, a fellow broadcaster in the world of sports, is going to be the keynote speaker for this year's IBA Awards. He served as an MC in 2010, so he's no stranger to the awards, did a fantastic job. He'll have you laughing. At that time, he was a college basketball analyst for ESPN. He then went on to CBS Sports. He's now with Fox Sports, Fox Sports Radio. Hosts the Doug Gottlieb Show, so that tells you who it is. It's Doug Gottlieb. He does a great job on Fox Sports. I especially love when he gives it to Colin Cowherd. Sometimes he goes on his show and sets that guy straight. I enjoy that. Doug Gottlieb will be the keynote speaker. He was a college basketball point guard at Notre Dame, ended up transferring to Oklahoma State, set just about every assist record there is. Trae Young, who announced yesterday he's going to the NBA, averaged 8.7 assists per game this year. Doug averaged 8.8, so he was sweating it this year, but he remains the Big 12 record holder, OSU record holder in assists. And as good as he was as a passer, he's even better as a talker and a speaker. So I know you'll definitely enjoy hearing what Doug has to say at the IBA Awards on June the 18th. Thank you so much. Good to see all you guys. Friendly group.
Thank you, Caden. We appreciate you being here today. Thank you, Rob. And thank you, IBA Committee, for all the great work you're doing. Tricia, thank you for your leadership with the committee. And Doug Gottlieb is going to be a great keynote speaker. So don't hesitate. Buy your tables, buy your tickets. Let's go out and support these great athletes. David Downing, you get the side mic. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, last week I told you about our Oklahoma City joint trip, which will be a week from Tuesday. We'll be going to Oklahoma City. The overwhelming response to the yellow bus provided by the Tulsa Public Schools was underwhelming. I do my best for you people.
It looks like a fun ride.
I thought it was going to be great.
Yeah.
So now we're going to get a real luxury motor coach, and I have 20 seats left on the luxury motor coach. You see on your tables this little sign-up sheet. Please execute if you'd like to be on the party bus going with us next Tuesday. I'll have more details for you next week. George Kaiser will be the speaker. We're going to have a morning visit to the state capitol renovations by the Oklahoma City Club hosting that. It'll be a great trip. Party bus with us now in luxury style. The 3rd of April. Sign up today. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, David. Sarge.
Yes, sir.
My man. Hey, thanks for the text you sent me this morning. Today is World Poetry Day.
It is World Poetry Day.
And for some reason, Charles thought I should know that today.
Well, you threw me for a curve because you said, let's talk about spring.
Yeah.
And I thought you were going to have everybody quote their favorite poem.
Yeah, no, I'm not real big on poetry, unfortunately. There's like maybe one poem I know by one poet. What's his? Henry Wadsworth Longfellow.
At least it hasn't Nantucket in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he the one that said, how's it go? God,
and
I
the
can't
clock
remember
ticks.
it now. Yeah.
Tick, tick, tick. You don't.
I can't think of it now.
You
no.
can't?
No.
Okay.
So that's all I know. So
well,
that's why. Yeah.
And you barely knew that.
Did it go like I'm a poet and don't know it, but I do know my feet are Longfellows? Was that it? Did he write that one? No?
I did.
No?
That's a pretty good one, though.
So that's why I
did the
skipped
poet
that
know
anyway.
it, but I didn't know anything more than that. Well,
appreciate
I'll be
the
careful to
knowledge.
give you
Yeah.
a little heads up next
Yeah.
time. All right. Well, wonderful. Hey, how's everybody doing? Good to see your all's fun faces, and let's get this thing started. All right. I'm not used to having the flag right there. I like to see myself. All right. Here we go. First up, okay. Is that the first one up or second one? Let's go back. I'm sorry. We'll get to you, Jason. Trust me. I know you're over there in a complete panic right now. All right. Congratulations to Kathy Gorell, $250 fine. Not only was it her birthday, but she and her daughter, and where's Kathy? There you are, Kathy. And daughter's not here with you to celebrate. But anyway, they won #1 team for small market production at, did I not get that right? Small team, top production. Congratulations. That's for Coldwell Bankers, right? Wonderful. And I'm pretty sure out of the 250, 220 goes to the Camp Enterprise. The additional $30 goes to your birthday, right? For Camp Enterprise? Right? I got that right? Okay. I got to get everything right. Thank you. Very good, Kathy. Thank you very much. All right. So next we got to keep moving. Whoop. Man, I'm really getting ahead. You can't touch these things and keep moving. All right. Let's come over here. Jason George. Big 45, right? That is correct. And well, I got to go back. There we go. Help me out, Miguel. Where are you, baby? I need some help over here today. I got that itchy finger. Okay, so here we go. $45 for the birthday, but $40 for shameless plugs. Tell me about your shameless plug.
Well, this upcoming Saturday, the Tulsa Roughnecks play their first home match, so I wanted to put that out there. And then also, Thursday, April the 12th is when the Drillers come back to town for their first home opener. So a couple of shameless plugs there.
Shameless plugs. We like them, right, Mike? Mike just says, yeah, we really like them. Okay. Thank you very much, Jason. I appreciate you. All right, the next one, finally we get to our friend Tim Knoll. And I got a call or an email from his wife. So here we go. We haven't done Disney yet, so we'll go with Disney. Okay. When you wish upon a tree, makes no difference what tree we be. Tim turned 59 this year. He's not blue because dreams do come true. Very exciting right there. I think I've ruined about every kind of chorus, every time
You
of
did
brand.
awesome.
I had to go Disney. Yeah, we had to go Disney.
You're good
before
at
we-
Disney, yeah.
So with that said, I've also got my Sarge pick of the week. Found this car, and yes, objects do appear much closer than they appear, but they do look slender, so that's nice. So anyway, so there's your pick of the week. Please keep me in mind for any kind of needs you might have. We'll get a little crazy with you anytime you want. Now we segue over to our good friend Becky because March Madness continues on. Here you go.
Well, we have our own bracket here in March Madness in Rotary, and would our team captains stand up for our recruiting contest? Any team captains here today? I've seen some of you. Yes. Lynette? I see you. Okay, so anyway, last week, Justin took on the entire losers bracket, and Chuck's Angels took on Monica the Magnificent. And Monica slightly ousted you this time, Chuck. I'm so sorry. But you can still advance through the losers bracket. So this week's winners are Monica and the losers bracket underdogs. So we will have our final championship next week, so keep on inviting, and we'll see who the ultimate winner is. There's a big, nice trophy involved, so keep inviting.
Nice.
All right, wonderful. Here we go.
You done?
I'm done. I'll get
Good
out
job.
of here. I'm going to go read some
Fantastic.
poetry.
Yeah, please. Maybe we'll get together. Okay, Carl Vincent with our vocational minute for this week. Carl, the clock is running.
President Mike promised me exactly 1 minute. I'm here because Corporate Realty Advisors is a proud sponsor of the Rotary Club of Tulsa. The difference between Corporate Realty Advisors and residential real estate services is we don't do what Kathy Gorell does. We don't do houses. We only do commercial real estate. A quick example, Rotarian David Wagner's firm, Schnocky Turnbow Frank, Corporate Realty Advisors recently helped them negotiate their lease renewal in the Thompson building downtown. with another Rotarian, Arnold Brown, who owns that building. If Corporate Realty Advisors can help you with any commercial real estate leasing, management, development, or sale, please give me a call. Thank you.
Yeah, well done. I love it when Rotarians work together like that. Thank you, Carl. Okay, today's Rotarian of the Day is Sir Chuck Wilson, past president. Chuck joined our club in 1988. He is a mortgage banking officer with Associated Mortgage Corporation, and he served as this club's president in 1996 to 1997. In addition to his many leadership roles with our club, he is also a Paul Harris Fellow, a Club Foundation Fellow, a Tulsa Rotary Foundation benefactor, MSNI ambassador, and a member of the Allen Edwards Society. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Rotarian of the Day, past president Chuck Wilson.
I have no time left to introduce the speaker, but thank you very much, Mr. President. Jeff Nickler serves as general manager for SMG Tulsa, the private management company selected to operate the BOK Center and the Cox Business Center in downtown Tulsa. Since opening in 2008, BOK Center has emerged as one of the nation's top concert destinations and has been nominated 9 consecutive times for Arena of the Year by Pollster Magazine, the International Entertainment Buyers Association, and the Academy of Country Music. Jeff began his venue management career as a premium sales manager with SMG and subsequently was promoted to special events manager, director of booking, and assistant general manager before being named general manager. Prior to working for SMG, he worked for the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company in Miami Beach. Jeff's passion is booking concerts and developing relationships with promoters, agents, and artist management. In addition to booking all concert traffic in Tulsa, he manages the daily operations of both the arena and the convention center and their 600 full and part-time employees. Since 2008, he has also developed 8 new special event concepts for SMG, including Winterfest, that bring an additional 300,000 visitors annually to downtown Tulsa. In 2012, Jeff received the Generation Next Award by Venues Today that recognizes the top young professionals in the entertainment industry. He is also a voting member of the Country Music Association and the Academy of Country Music. The reason there's such a big smile on Jeff's face, you'll now see on the screen. There's their brand new daughter. Will you welcome Jeff to the microphone?
Thank you, Chuck. It's great to be here. A lot of familiar faces in the room, but for those of you who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Jeff Nickler, and I am the General Manager of BOK Center and Cox Business Center. Now, the presentation I'm going to give you today is normally about an hour-and-a-half presentation, so bear with me because I'm going to fly through a lot of this, condense it down to about 20 minutes, and hopefully have some time for Q&A at the end. But I'm going to quickly tell you a little bit about myself. I'm going to tell you a little bit about SMG, our company, and then I'm going to kind of tell you a little behind-the-scenes stories of how we turned Tulsa into one of the best concert markets in the country. And then if we do have time at the end, I'll show you some backstage photos of BOK Center. So quickly I always like to start with this quote. This was in a letter to the editor in the Tulsa World about a decade ago. And it said, "Building an arena is just a huge waste of our taxpayers' money. People are never going to come downtown Tulsa to see a concert." It's hard to find one of those detractors today, one of those people who said BOK Center can never work, but I know when I moved here a decade ago, there were quite a few, so it's been great proving them wrong. Again, my name is Jeff Nickler. That's me on the left with KISS. I moved here from Miami Beach, Florida about 10 years ago to help open up the arena. John Bolton, who was our previous GM, was my mentor. When he left about 5 years ago, I took over as general manager. I grew up in West Virginia, moved to Miami, Florida, where I did public relations for the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company in Miami Beach. And then you can imagine what an eye-opening experience it was moving from Miami to Tulsa. So what I do like to tell people today is that Tulsa today is a very different Tulsa than I moved to 10 years ago. And I think everybody can attest that downtown Tulsa is incredible, and we've come so far. So I work for SMG. We are the largest private management company in the world for stadiums, arenas, and convention centers. Up here are a few of our marquee venues. The top left you might recognize as US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where they just held the Super Bowl. Top right is Soldier Field in Chicago. On the bottom, second from the left, is the Greek Theater in LA, which is one of the top outdoor theaters in the company. A variety of venues from arenas, convention centers, theaters, and performing arts centers to 13 Major League football stadiums. Here locally, we manage both Cox Business Center, the convention center, and BOK Center, with about 100 full-time employees and then 900 part-time employees and temp employees that we employ on an event-by-event basis. Our executive leadership team is obviously myself, our two assistant general managers, Casey Sparks, who's over BOK Center, Kerry Painter over Cox Business Center, and Evan Fallett, who's our Director of Business Development. His head really isn't squished down like that in real life, but Evan's actually here in the room with us today, so sorry about that photo, Evan. Now, when SMG was hired about a decade ago, we had a few very distinct goals on things we wanted to accomplish here in Tulsa. First, we wanted to develop a calendar with a variety of programming. We didn't just want country music. We wanted to create national awareness of this brand new arena. We wanted to attract a regional audience, not just Tulsa. We wanted to enliven downtown Tulsa, because as you know, it was much different. And then we wanted to compete for major sporting events and tournaments. Well, opening night happened, 2008, that was the Eagles, over 15,000 tickets sold, about $1.8 million in ticket sales, and it didn't stop from then. Some of the artists who have visited, Madonna for her first time ever in Oklahoma, Garth Brooks 7 times, Bruce Springsteen, Celine Dion, Jimmy Buffett, the Eagles, which will be 4 times this year, Kenny Chesney, Justin Timberlake, Carrie Underwood, Elton John, Lady Gaga, Motley Crue, George Strait will make his 6th and 7th appearances this year, Eric Clapton, Taylor Swift, and Paul McCartney 3 times. So. And as I said, it hasn't just been concerts. This is actually a picture from the 2013 Bassmaster Classic, which brought 100,000 people. But in addition to concert programming, we do a lot of family shows. Harlem Globetrotters, Cirque du Soleil. You have WWE Wrestling, which we just had about a week ago, which is 100% real. Sesame Street, PBR. The list goes on. So there really is something for everybody. But, you know, when we were hired, we knew that everybody in Tulsa couldn't afford a concert ticket, and sometimes not even a Tulsa Oilers hockey ticket. So SMG worked to develop a portfolio of our own special events. Most notably is our Arvest Winterfest, which you see on the right, which welcomes about 135,000 people downtown for ice skating. But we really wanted to create a portfolio of events that we owned and operated that really could be at a price point that families could embrace and afford. We've seen incredible corporate support here in Tulsa. Every single piece of premium seating in the venue is sold out, 100%. Every suite, every club seat, every loge box, every single piece of premium inventory. In fact, we have a waiting list of over 50 companies right now who are banging down the door who want to buy a suite from us. So that does not happen. When you look at other arenas around the country, a lot of arenas have vacancies of their suites, 20, 30, 40% of their suites are empty. We have a waiting list of companies. Our pricing has gone up over the years to bear what the market can bear, and we have a waiting list of 50-plus companies, which is incredible. But our top selling point for Tulsa has been Tulsa sells tickets. It has been incredible, the number of concert tickets this community has bought. Average attendance every year is about 700,000 people. You saw it spike up in 2013, 14 with Garth Brooks when we had 7 Garth Brooks shows. But the great thing is, these ticket buyers are not just from Tulsa. According to Ticketmaster data, which we have, 41% of these ticket buyers are coming from outside of the Tulsa metro. So from Missouri, from Arkansas, from Kansas, and even from North Texas. Some of the best nights we've had, obviously, Garth Brooks sold 135,000 tickets here. Sir Paul McCartney, about 37,000 tickets over 2 nights. You'll see our other top acts up there: George Strait, Billy Joel, Elton John, Taylor Swift, Jonas Brothers, which I'm sure a lot of you guys were at, and Bon Jovi. Estimated impact since we opened, and this number has grown, this is an old slide, but well over $330 million of economic impact. So. And the incredible part is the downtown development, nearly $1 billion in private development, and about another $1 billion kind of in the works right now. So it's been really fun to see Tulsa grow around us. And we've been thankful to win or be nominated for pretty much every single major award that a venue can get, including last year, Arena of the Year, where we beat out Madison Square Garden in New York, Staples Center in LA, and Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. So. Again, this is a credit to this community, which has provided us with corporate support and continues to buy tickets for every single show. So I'm quickly going to tell you a little bit about how we created this concert market here. You know, Tulsa always had a rich musical history and heritage with Kane's Ballroom and all the music history here, but we had to develop that kind of that high-level, high-tier arena concert market. And part of my job is to go out and talk to agents, promoters, and artist management and convince them to bring their acts to Tulsa. So here are some of the things that we have to our advantage. First of all, a metro population of around 1 million. We have a convenient location. If an artist needs to get from Denver to St. Louis or from Kansas City to Dallas, we're right in the way. We have a flexible calendar. While we do have the Oilers, we don't have a professional sports team, so we have a lot of flexibility in our dates. And we have this story to tell that we sell tickets. Tulsa is the 47th largest metro area in the country, but we're about number 10 when it comes to ticket sales, which is incredible. So to give you a little bit of insight, when an agent is sitting in an office in LA and they're gonna put together a tour, let's just say Justin Timberlake, for example, and he's gonna do 40 dates total. Well, the first thing that's gonna happen is that agent's gonna check off all these must-play markets. These are the places like New York, Chicago, Boston, Houston, these major metro areas. And that's gonna take a good deal of these available dates. And then after all these major cities are slotted in, there's a handful of dates left. And that's where we come into play. For us, it's not just about competing against Oklahoma City down the turnpike. For us, it's this regional competition. We're competing against everybody from Denver to St. Louis, New Orleans, Austin, all the way down to Texas for shows. So that handful of dates becomes a huge competition. And I'll tell you in a little bit how we get those dates. Not only do we have those cities we're competing against, but this market has a lot of casinos surrounding us. And if you guys have ever seen a casino announce a show, you might say to yourself, well, why is that artist playing at the casino and not at BOK Center? Well, the casino has a different revenue model, and they spend a whole lot more, and they can afford to spend a whole lot more on entertainment. So we lose a good deal of shows to casinos. Also, to the east and west of us, we have major outdoor amphitheaters, the Zoo Amphitheater in Oklahoma City, the Walmart Amp in Rogers, Arkansas. We have Rocklahoma, which takes 2 or 3 major rock artists away from BOK Center every year. And then we have South by Southwest, which is down in Austin, which has a giant radius clause, which we lose a few shows to every year. So that being said, how do we actually get the shows? Well, first, we've implemented a constant national marketing campaign to generate brand awareness of the arena. We develop relationships with agents, promoters, and artist management. We have continuous dialogue with these people on how Tulsa could route with other cities. We promote Tulsa's strong track record of ticket sales. And then when the artist actually gets here, we make sure they have an incredible time here in Tulsa. So creating national brand awareness, Acrobat Ant's actually in the room, and they've helped us create all these ads that have run in national trade magazines. But these are some examples of some of our ads. On the left, it says, bringing out your inner rock star. There's an elderly woman looking into one of our mirrors in the bathroom at BOK Center, and she sees herself as this rock goddess here. On the right, it says, are you big enough to rock the BOK? Well, back when we opened, we had these people in LA and New York who honestly thought Tulsa was all cowboys and Indians and teepees, and we had to prove to them that we had a skyline. Now, granted, this skyline has been modified a little bit for our purposes of the ad, but we were trying to show that Tulsa was a booming city. These are some of our 5th anniversary ads. On the left, you'll see a birthday cake shaped like the arena. On the right, you'll see Paul McCartney tickets shaped like the arena. At the time, Paul McCartney was our highest ticket price concert at $250. Last year, we did a whole superhero-themed campaign with the BOK Center. On the left, it says, "You've got the power." On the middle, it says, "Your mothership has arrived." The BOK Center's a spaceship. And on the right, it says, "Follow the sign." And what I'm most excited about, this is our 10th anniversary ad campaign. On the left, it says, 10 years ago, they said, "Why Tulsa?" Now they say, "Wow." And on the right, it says, "We reached for the stars. Now the stars reach for us." So thank you, Acrobat Ant, for your work. The next component is these relationships with these agents and promoters. These bands, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Lady Gaga, they don't care where they play. They're going to go and they're going to get a paycheck wherever they go, but it's up to these agents and promoters sitting in these offices in New York, LA, and Los Angeles who make the decisions. So this was my corporate travel last year, just to meet with agents and promoters. It's a constant dialogue for us to endear not only myself, but Tulsa to these agents. We want them to remember Tulsa. These are some of the crazy ideas we've done over the years. We were chasing the band, the Dixie Chicks, a few years ago, and we sent cookies to the agent that said, "Goodbye, Earl, hello, Tulsa," which is a play on one of their songs. The middle is a Tulsa-themed margarita kit that we sent to all these agents with Tulsa-themed Tervis tumblers, some tequila, and some really cool Tulsa margarita mix. And then on the right, the week that Apple Watches came out a few years ago, I think it was probably 5 years ago now, but the week they came out, we had pre-ordered Apple Watches. We got the watches and we preloaded them with some Tulsa collateral. We created a special cutout inside the box that said "Living on Tulsa Time" with the song lyrics to Tulsa Time. And each of these people got this incredible Apple Watch personalized for them from Tulsa. We promote Route 66. These were custom Converse sneakers that we mailed to these agents with an insert that said, "Get your kicks on Route 66," and then talked all about Tulsa. We celebrated our record-breaking year a few years ago with a Tulsa-themed album cover and a retro record player that we sent out. 2 years ago, Prairie, the local beer company, brewed us a special BOK Center-themed beer. And you can't see the label, but it's a really cool BOK label. And we took this beer to places in Nashville and LA, and we had a Tulsa-themed happy hour right in the office with these agents with this Tulsa beer. Something that hasn't quite worked yet, local chocolatier Glacier made these chocolates with the rap artist Drake on them. We're still working on Drake, maybe one day, but this was a pitch that didn't quite work, but it was Tulsa chocolate. Something that's bizarre but memorable, we picked a few key agents and we sent them gift certificates for skydiving with a special note that said, "For a mind-blowing, adrenaline-topping good time, jump out of an airplane or come to Tulsa." Now, granted, most of these people never jumped out of an airplane, but to this day, they remember Tulsa, and they remember the sometimes silly, sometimes ingenious things we do to endear ourselves to them. These are some wall wraps we've done downstairs at the BOK Center when they actually come here on site. So when they do come here on site, we provide legendary hospitality. If you remember, Garth Brooks and Trisha were here a few years ago for 2 weeks. We wrapped the staircase in the lobby with the song lyrics to Friends in Low Places, custom OSU jerseys for both of them, and then we renamed the streets all around BOK Center after Garth Brooks songs. Pop star Justin Timberlake. Rustic Cuff, a local jewelry company, made him some really incredible leather custom cuffs. And then a company called Two Guys Bow Ties did some really cool wooden Tulsa-themed bow ties for Justin and his entire entourage. One of the things we've done that has gotten the most national attention, pop star Ariana Grande was here 2 years ago. She is a big advocate of animal rescue and dogs. Into her backstage dressing room, we delivered 14 rescue animals from Tulsa to greet her. She was so enthralled that she adopted one of the dogs on the spot. His name was Strauss, and he goes on tour with her now on her tour bus. And then she paid for the adoption fees for 20 other dogs for fans that night to adopt dogs. So if you look, the Huffington Post story here, which got national media, got 1.3 million likes because of this act we did here in Tulsa. Miranda Lambert came on the left. We arranged for her to get tattoos at Brookside Tattoo. You see that custom poster with her with a shotgun standing by downtown Tulsa, and then a custom rustic cuff on the right. That's her actually wearing the custom rustic cuff that we gave her at the CMA Awards in Nashville. The band Iron Maiden actually flies to their tour on their own jumbo jet. And this is some of the stuff we did at Tulsa International Airport to welcome the band Iron Maiden to Tulsa, and they loved it. And then one more, the Imagine Dragons, which is a rock band. They are really passionate about organizations that help children with cancer. And through a partnership with the band and the agent, we generated $250,000 to donate to the Tyler Robinson Foundation, a childhood cancer research organization, on behalf of the band for their night here in Tulsa. So when the bands do get here, we do everything we can to leave them with a really lasting, memorable impression of Tulsa. Some quick behind-the-scenes photos of BOK Center that, so you can kind of see what the artist sees. We have a lot of local art. Clean Hands Army, a local spray paint group, did this Living on Tulsa Time. Art installation is right outside the dressing rooms. They also did the one on the left, this Route 66 themed art installation. On the right, this is a wall that the artist sees right before they step on stage. It says, "If you are here, you're awesome," and it says Tulsa, Oklahoma on it. So this is showing up in the social media of artists all across the country. It's been pretty cool. On the left, we have a wall that lists every single artist that has played the building since we opened. Artists love going back and finding the last time they were here. On the right, we have our custom BOK Center marquee backstage where we put a personalized message for each artist when they come. This is a picture of one of our backstage game rooms and lounges where we have pool tables, video games, places for the artist and the tour management to hang out. There's a whole wall of past show posters there. We're known for our award-winning backstage catering. These are actual photos of some backstage catering from Chef Devin Levine. This is another picture of a wall wrap celebrating Tulsa's music history inside catering. These are the actual dressing rooms set up for Madonna when she came a couple years ago. They change event by event based upon the artist's request, but these are actual set up for Madonna. We have a special backstage gym just for the use of the artist. A really fun gym with an iPad on the wall that can control all the music that's pre-stocked with all sorts of really cool stuff for the artist. And then my favorite place, it's our room called the Speakeasy. If you're walking through the hallway, it looks like a porta potty door that you see on the left. And you open up the porta potty door, and there's a roll of toilet paper hanging on the door. But then you walk in, and it's this amazing backstage lounge and room where we actually host the artist, their manager, and their tour entourage. Basically, when the artist is here, you got to figure these artists travel when they're out on the road on a tour bus or on an airplane for months at a time. We have to do everything we can to make sure it feels like home when they're in Tulsa, because they may not remember every single good experience they have here, but if they have one bad experience, they remember it for years. So those are some of the quick things we do to do hospitality for the artists. And then quickly I'll finish up. To celebrate our 10th anniversary this year, you have probably heard about our 10th anniversary concert series. We've had Blake Shelton and Pink already. U2 will rehearse here for 10 days and launch their North American tour in May. Justin Timberlake, George Strait, 2 sold-out nights. The Eagles are coming back. Bruno Mars is coming for 2 sold-out nights. Elton John, Imagine Dragons, and Metallica. Tickets are still available for Metallica. The rest of the shows are all 100% sold out. We also just announced for the first time ever an NHL preseason hockey game in Tulsa that will be this September. The Dallas Stars versus the Florida Panthers. It will be the first time Tulsa has hosted a preseason NHL game. And then we're working to upgrade the fan experience. We're spending about $5 million in capital upgrade money to really bring the arena to the next level. We are building 4 new suites because of demand. We are totally gutting and expanding our One Oak Club Lounge into a really cool upscale nightclub themed experience. That little tiny marquee board that you see at the corner of 3rd and Denver, we're going to have this grand, beautiful, giant, tall marquee video screen out in front of the building. We're installing digital message boards over all the entrances. And then probably the most noticeable for everybody is we're getting new Wi-Fi. So 20,000 fans can concurrently use the internet. You won't be shut off the internet. You'll be able to post a photo on Facebook and check in from the arena. So we're celebrating big. That's all I have. I want to thank the city of Tulsa for allowing us the privilege of managing this building for 10 years and hope for another 10 amazing years. I don't know, do we have time? Do we have time for questions? Does anybody have? Sir?
So who's on your bucket list, either entertainer, singer,
Who is on our bucket list, who we must have? Well, I'll tell you, we've gotten just about everybody living, unfortunately. I could tell you the one band that hasn't played, which is still a long shot because they're not touring as the Rolling Stones. I could tell you Metallica was our most requested rock band for the past 5 years when we finally got them back. We're always looking to diversify content, so we hope to get more R&B content. We haven't had a whole lot of R&B or rap content, and even begin testing some Hispanic and Latin content. But Rolling Stones is definitely our top bucket list one. Garth Brooks was our most requested artist for about 7 years until he finally came. Sure. What would the considerations to be Arena of the Year? The considerations for being Arena of the Year. Well, any building in the entire country can be nominated. It's based to a large degree on ticket sales. Again, the fact I gave you, Tulsa being, for all purposes, not a big market, but was selling more tickets than all but 10 other major markets in the country is always a big selling point for us. And it's based a lot on agents and promoters. So these people whose butts we're kissing up here, those are the people who are nominating us. So, sir, in the very back. What did we have to do to bring U2 here? Well, it was a feat that took years to happen. And to be honest with you, it all comes down to relationships. There's a gentleman based out of Chicago who represents Justin Timberlake, Rush, Madonna, and U2. And by cultivating a relationship and first getting Madonna here and showing that we could do Madonna, showing that the market could sustain a high ticket price like Madonna and sell that out, that really gave us a lot of clout to go after U2. But what was most valuable is, as I said, we're hosting the rehearsals for over a week for their world tour. And that flexible calendar, we came together and gave them a really creative pitch to come rehearse here and start here. So had we not had the rehearsal availability, Tulsa probably would have been a long shot, but that really helped us close the deal. Thank you. We appreciate it. Yeah. We're ready to do a couple, one more? I think we have time for maybe one more question. Ma'am?
Is there an average on how much the band gets percentage-wise of the ticket sales?
Yes, absolutely. Is there an average on what the band gets of ticket sales? Well, that's a funny question because the band gets 100% of ticket sales, unfortunately. So every time that we have people go online and people get really upset about the high ticket prices, et cetera, unfortunately, we as a venue don't have any impact on that. What we're doing is we're basically renting the building to these people, and they come and they are setting the ticket prices. So we make our money really off of that food and beverage and all that beer that you guys are drinking. So really, that's our revenue stream and some rental income because we charge these bands rent. But all of that ticket revenue goes to the artist. So and all those prices are unfortunately set by the artist. Oh, all right. Well, guys, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure being here, and appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff. Well done. We appreciate everything you're doing to promote Tulsa and making us the city. Part of what you're doing is making us the city that we are. So we appreciate all. I know it looks like fun going out to visit with these promoters, but I know it's a lot of work. So yeah, we appreciate you. So a book recognizing today's program will be presented to our adopted school, Celia Clinton. And the book is The NBA, A History of Hoops, the Oklahoma City Thunder. So thank you for signing that for the kids. Some more great upcoming programs. Next week, Amy Holyfield with the Tampa Bay Times is going to talk to us about Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire. Political fact-checking comes to Oklahoma, so that's going to be interesting. Amy's with the Tampa Bay Times National PolitiFact. And they're in their 10th year, and they are localized journalism fact-checking, and they're working with the Tulsa World here in Oklahoma to hold our politicians accountable for their outlandish remarks. Karen, maybe we'll, no? Karen broke into a sweat there. Yes, I understand. I got you. Okay, and then April 4th, the week after, Michael Breaux is the Executive Director of the Mental Health Association Oklahoma. He's going to talk to us about Oklahomans invisible in the budget crisis. We all know that no population has been more impacted with such serious consequences as Oklahoma's mentally ill during our state's dramatic cutbacks in core services. Michael is recognized as a national authority on mental health services. And the Mental Health Association of Oklahoma is now the state's most prominent nonprofit to focus on mental health services beyond the local level. So that'll be another program. So before I dismiss you, Karen is asking me to remind you we have license plates for sale. And we have installed license plates for sale for a small fee. Karen and I would be happy to oblige you. So now I encourage you, go out, tell your Rotary story, and don't forget to bring a friend to Rotary next week. We are dismissed.